All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to completely flip the script on how you view the supporting cast on any team. We're doing something a little different this time around. We've actually designed this breakdown of Brandon H. Bakke's new book to be an interactive training guide. So whether you're leading a corporate team, coaching a local sports squad, or honestly just trying to navigate your own career path, you're absolutely going to want to take notes on this one.
Okay, I want you to literally raise your hand right now if you've ever read a book specifically about the unique role of coaching bench players. Go ahead, raise them up. If you're anything like reviewer John Pearson, whose really fascinating breakdown of lessons from the bench we are exploring today, well, your hand is probably firmly glued to your side, right? It's a massively overlooked topic, but that changes right now. So let's just quickly look at the roadmap for our workshop. We're covering redefining the bench, embracing the support role, the coach TARC lesson, and then we've got 2 discussion periods on bench warming and continuous improvement. This is perfectly structured to just pause and play during your next team huddle. Kicking things off with Section 1, redefining the bench, myth versus reality. We really need to start by confronting a basic reality about how we view teamwork. I mean, think about it. We have hundreds of books written about the stars, right? The captains, the keynote speakers, the face of the company. But consider the backups, the bench warmers, the folks just riding the pine. Almost none of our leadership literature actually talks about how to stay motivated and make a significant contribution when you aren't the star. We tend to view these roles as a negative, but honestly, that's a huge mistake. The crucial point here is summed up perfectly by Bakke. He says, healthy and successful teams need the bench. This isn't just some downer concept or consolation prize. Whether you're out on the basketball court, grinding in the corporate workplace, or even managing a family, a team's ultimate success literally relies on its supporting cast. Moving right along to Section 2, embracing the support role, which covers bench lesson number 2. Embracing your role requires a really profound mindset shift. It basically means accepting that the coach, the school principal, or your CEO might actually be looking at a much more complex situation than you currently understand. And let's be real, that is a universally hard pill to swallow, whether it's at home, at school, or at work. We all inherently want to believe we have all the answers, right? But realizing we don't always know more than the person in charge, that's the very first step to unlocking your potential from the sidelines. Which brings us to Section 3, the coach TARC lesson. This is an absolute masterclass in perspective. To make this mindset shift really stick, Bakke shares this brilliant, vivid story from his time playing for Hall of Fame coach Jerry Tarkanian over at Fresno State. Coach Tark was getting frustrated with players constantly questioning the staff, so he actually stopped practice. He holds up a basketball, that's step 1, representing all the knowledge there is to know about the game. Step 2, he draws a softball-sized circle right on it. That represents everything he, the Hall of Fame coach, knew. Then, step 3, he puts a tiny little dot inside that circle to represent the player's knowledge. And then he delivers this absolute sledgehammer of a quote. One microscopic speck of ink on that dot is what you know about basketball. Stop questioning the coaches. I mean, wow, it's a blunt, highly visual wake-up call. Look, questioning coaches or bosses or leaders, it happens all the time. But shifting your mindset to truly understand the limits of your own perspective and actually trusting the leadership is absolutely critical to thriving when you're on the bench.
And that story brilliantly sets up our next concept. Great bench players are masterful nugget thieves. Pearson highlights this as one of the best takeaways from the book, and it's so true. Being in a supporting role, it isn't passive. You aren't just sitting there twiddling your thumbs. It's an active, highly engaged process of stealing wisdom, watching the bigger picture unfold, and grabbing every single nugget of knowledge you possibly can from the sidelines.
All right, Section 4, discussion on benchwarming periods, which is staff meeting question number 1. So now it's time for us to actually put this into practice. Consider how Bakke himself actively learned from the mentors around him. He didn't just, survive his time on the bench. He turned it into a period of massive personal growth. He was constantly learning from his coaches and from people like his uncle Dennis Bakke, who actually wrote the bestseller Joy at Work. He was being a masterful nugget thief in his own life. So here is your very first prompt. Describe a benchwarming period in your life and what you actually learned from your coach, your boss, or your colleagues during that time. I strongly encourage you to pause this explainer right now. Take about 5 minutes and discuss this openly as a team. Seriously, go ahead, hit pause.
Welcome back. Section 5, discussion on continuous improvement. This is staff meeting question 2.
I really hope that generated some eye-opening conversations for you all. Let's dive right into bench lesson number 4. Don't underestimate how much you can improve. Bakke provides this incredibly transparent confession in the text. He writes, "My issue as I entered this final college season is I quietly doubted that there was much improvement left in me." I mean, it's just so honest. How many of us have hit that exact same wall of self-doubt, where we feel like our microscopic dot of knowledge is as big as it's ever going to get? Well, that thought process leads us straight into our final team reflection.
Can you think of 2 people in your life who have actively put the brakes on their own improvement? And more importantly, how about you? Have you stopped growing, or is there genuinely any improvement left in you? Once again, team leaders, I want you to pause the explainer right here. Discuss as a group whether you've maybe unconsciously put the brakes on your own development simply because of the role you currently hold. Hit pause right now. All right, welcome back for the final time today. Before we completely wrap up this session, you should definitely know that the source material we've explored today is packed with so many more fascinating concepts. The book features a great foreword by former NFL backup quarterback Brock Howard. It dives into this really controversial idea of coaches allocating fun tickets to players unequally, and it unpacks 9 total insightful bench lessons pulling from Bakke's 3 decades across business, education, and athletics. It's just a fantastic resource. So, as you head back to your desks, your practice field, or your classrooms today, it is time to stop questioning, start stealing those nuggets of wisdom, and truly unlock your impact from the bench. Take a hard look at your current position, whatever it might be, and ask yourself honestly, are you just riding the pine, waiting around for someone else to make you the star? Or are you actively, intentionally mastering the microscopic dot of your potential?